So, hello everyone. My name is Tara المحب. I have graduated from the Lebanese American University, which is called LEU. Then I went to Cambridge. I pursued my teaching diploma over there, and I'm a certified trainer from IABC. Let's begin. Let's have a short talk before we start. Who is an English teacher from here?
Hi, my name is Rita. I'm a tutorial teaching English after school.
Okay, great. Nice to meet you, Rita. Anyone else wants to share? Okay, so we're going to begin. Okay, we're going to begin now. Let me know when you're able to see my screen. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes,
Okay, so, Rima, what do you think she is doing?
she's showing a paper mentioning some subjects
Okay, is she teaching face-to-face or online?
online because she has a headset.
Exactly, very good question. Very good answer. Objectives of the course, we're going to get familiar with different whiteboards, types of online learning, teaching different skills online. So Latifa, what are the different skills that we can teach online?
Are we talking about students under age 18 or up above?
Everyone, in general. We have reading. What else do we have?
Writing
Yes.
and pronunciation.
Speaking. Exactly.
Communication.
Communication.
Oh,
Good.
grammar also.
Grammar and one more thing.
Listening.
Vocabulary.
Vocabulary, yes. I mentioned it in grammar, I thought.
Oh, okay. The essential tool. Who is the essential tool for online learning? Who is one of person who is most essential?
Sorry.
Is the teacher, right?
Yes.
Who is the person who is the most essential? It's the teacher. Why is the teacher the most essential? Why do we put a lot of importance on the teacher?
Because he has to be able to explain each details for students. He has to know to be well aware about everything.
Exactly. So the most important part of an online English teaching job is the teacher, because the teacher should be aware of everything the student is facing, what problems he has, what challenges they have, how to teach them better, because they're not with them in class physically, they're online. So they need to know, they need to be well aware, and they need to know how to teach them in a proper way. Exactly. Online whiteboard. We're going to talk about the online whiteboard. What do we use the whiteboard for?
For explaining.
For explaining. Exactly. Yes, to explain something. What kinds of whiteboards do you know? Web. We have something at
web.
Yes. Web. Yes.
Web.
What does it mean? Overview. It's user-friendly.
Maybe images. Yeah, images.
Exactly, designed for teachers to create collaborative boards for lectures and activities. For example, the web related, and it's the most common whiteboard. Why? because it allows uploading of files, use of pen tool, and fun elements like emojis and mind maps. All those are very important as a teacher to be in a creative atmosphere and to know how to use them. Do you use mind maps online? Who teaches online from here?
For me, it's the first time. I don't teach. I teach physically, and the students came to my workshop to study.
Okay.
Actually, I taught online.
Yes.
During Corona, and I was making videos using the whiteboard to explain the lesson for students, and I add my voice.
Exactly. It's very important to add your voice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and pictures like this. Yeah.
Exactly. So the web whiteboard, it means it's very good, it's very useful to add emojis, as I have just discussed, and mind maps.
Mm-hmm.
Google Jamboard. Who uses Google Jamboard? This is Kamena, it's very important. Why is it important? It integrates seamlessly with Google Workspace, making it ideal for both online and site teaching. It's used for both, for physical and for online teaching. Features support collaboration with sticky notes, images, shapes, easy saving in the cloud storage. You know, when you work with Google Jamboard, you have storage, you have space. Where should you put the information? So it allows you to put the information in the cloud storage. It's a completely free tool as part of the Google services. It's completely free, the Google Jamboard. You don't need to pay any money. Explain everything. This is also a very useful tool. Overview, an interactive whiteboard that allows for video tutorials and real-time collaboration. What does it mean, real-time collaboration? Zainab. It means that the student and the teacher can collaborate together in a real-time setting. And who makes video tutorials in their classroom?
I watch it. I didn't. I've never used online, but sometimes when I teach the student during Corona, I saw that some teachers bring some ideas online and share it with the student, which I didn't accept it because the student didn't negotiate and didn't know how to explain or to ask. I don't like the videos sent to the student without any interactive between teacher and student.
Exactly, collaboration, exactly. What do you do in this case? If you are teaching online, what can you do?
I open a space for asking for some inquiries, give each student a space of time for him, because some students go asleep while others are speaking.
Exactly. So you can do something that is called groups.
Yes.
Groups where they can discuss, breakout rooms where they can discuss on Zoom different viewpoints and how they can answer the video and what questions you can give them before the video starts. This way they would be encouraged and motivated to watch the video. We have a tool here that in Zoom is called breakout rooms. Types of online learning. Synchronous learning. What does it mean? It means like it means like, for example, you and your your student are in the same setting. It means Zoom, Skype, chat rooms, or virtual classrooms are all important to use as teachers. And asynchronous, pre-recorded lecturers. For example, you record a session. Okay, it's the way to go. It's the way to go. Is to record the session. You can put it on your website if you have one. You can send it to your students via email. This is a recorded session, and it's very important to have it, to know about it, because the students can watch the sessions, and not only this, they can watch the sessions and take notes. So it's a self-study course. Hybrid learning overview. Combinations of learning modules utilize both virtual and in-person instruction. For example, when you are in physical settings and when you are online with the students. What is it ideal for? Ideal for lab classes, commonly used for courses requiring hands-on lab components. What does hands-on mean when you're teaching online? Let's go with Rima. Salima. Hands-on. What am I doing with my hands? I'm doing a move. I'm moving my hands. So it's very important as well to move your hands when you're talking. You don't have to use your same tone. If I use the same tone when I'm talking in an online classroom, and it's very boring. The students will get very bored. They will leave. They will not enroll in the sessions anymore. So we have to use our hands, our mouth, our gestures. Exactly. Hybrid learning overview. Ideal for lab classes, commonly used for courses requiring hands-on lab components. Flexible schedule offers freedom to learn at your own convenience. For example, if I don't have time today to learn something, to learn English, to learn math, I can learn it later on. So it's a hybrid. It's not structured classroom. It's flexible. Structured lessons provide organized lessons and direct communications and instructions or instructors. For example, here, structured lesson, it's okay. I'm teaching them in a hybrid way, which is I'm teaching both online and virtual, but it's also structured. I know what I can teach. I know what I'm seeing. I know my objective of the lesson.
Structured, it has to be done even if it's presential. It's not only hybrid. It has
Yes,
to be.
can you give me an example?
For example, starting mentioning to the student how start to read. For example, doesn't know the phonetics, and I want to arrive to a target that after the phonics they have to learn how to make sentences, after sentences, from letters to words to sentences. So the structure, like I'm teaching in class, I have to make it structured to teach them online, because I need to get the target that my students knows what are they listening.
Exactly, your objectives, what they are listening to. I don't listen to anything. I have a set plan. I have a set lesson that I'm going to teach. I'm going to finish it this day. I will finish it, and then I move to something else. Exactly, like you said. How to do a needs analysis. Jenny, do you do a needs analysis when you are teaching a lesson? Ta'ala, do you do any needs analysis when you are teaching a lesson? And why is it important?
No, I don't know what it is, actually. Sorry.
Okay. We're going to talk about it. It's okay, everybody learns. We're going to talk about it. Needs analysis here, it's a component of your needs, your wants, and something else, which is the student's preferences. For example, if the student wants to learn, for example, and wants to learn how to speak fluently, they can do needs analysis. What do they need to learn? What they want to learn? And their preferences. The preferences are very important when it comes to teaching online. Why? Because you show that you're interested in the student's needs, wants, and likes. You're not only giving the structure, you're not only thinking about a course that you want to give. This is a no. You are integrating the students with you, the student mind, the student emotions, mind, feelings with you. Once, for example, general English. For example, I'm giving you an example. Focuses on everyday language use, covers topics like, yes, study the problems, the deficiencies, like Sarah Ghanem said. Exactly. General English focuses on everyday language use, covers topics like ordering food in the restaurant, going shopping, discussing dreams and ambitions, and emphasizes vocabulary and grammar. So this is the wants. What do they want to do? Do they want to pass an exam? To watch and understand Hollywood movies? To be able to speak better? To do business deals? To study at an international school or university, which they require to do the IELTS or the TOEFL or even the SAT? Needs. What can your student already know? Okay, what can your student, you need to know, what can my student do before he enters the English class? And where do they need to improve? What do they need to improve? Even some students need to improve their listening. Some students need to improve their speaking. So we give them a need analysis. This one I will share with you today. It's a needs analysis format. You can write, for example, you give them to the students. They want to improve their speaking, listening, writing, grammar, vocabulary, what they want to do. هلا يوم I will share it with you. Because this one, all the time, this one comes before you do the course, not during or not even after, before you do it. After you do it, you do something that is called KWL chart, but before you do the needs analysis. I'm going to share with you both needs analysis and the KWL chart. Interest. Rasha, why are students' interests important? Exactly, it's like Salma said, to study his needs, then provide what is suitable in his case. Exactly. Good, Salma. Rasha, interest. Why is bringing students' interests very popular these days, to get their interests and to be on the same page as the student?
To be motivated, in order to
Yes.
be motivated and to share their experience and to improve themselves. If they are not motivated, they will leave the lesson.
Exactly. And okay, what can you do to motivate them?
I can answer, or someone else?
No, you answer and then someone else's answers.
Okay, to motivate them, it depends on what they are interested in. If they are interested in vocabulary, we can make it some exercises or some games, because when you are playing games, you can motivate them to have the grades or the points, or to win the game. So he will activate it. For example, when I was learning some languages, we played games at school, and who get مثلا the biggest score, he will be the number one in the class. So the games attractive the student to be involved in motivation.
Exactly. Tara, can you read out your answer? It's a very lovely answer to read out. Tara says we should search and involve their interest in lessons to attract them, make them motivated and excited for next sessions. Exactly, like you said, exactly. So all the time we have to give them like real life topics that they can use in everyday situations. We don't talk, for example, about we talk about our culture. We don't talk about someone else's culture and we integrate it in our culture. لا نحكي, we talk about what is happening today in the world, what is happening in Lebanon today. What can we do about it? We can give them scenarios. We can make them converse with us in an real life situation basis.
Can I ask you some question, please?
Yes, but the questions are going. Yeah, you can write them on the chat box, or
Yeah,
you
okay,
can wait
but
to ask me the questions.
no, but about the interest. If I'm talking to
Yeah.
someone about situation and we are depressed, so we are going to depress him more. So it's better to change the mood, not to talk frequently about the situation. We are avoiding to learn it about it. That's what I'm
No, we
asking.
don't talk about depression. We talk about something that is like lively. What can they do to don't depression? And I will give you my advice and feelings and the economic situation or the political situation. You get them. You don't talk about them at all. You talk about something else, which is, for example, how to go to a restaurant, how to book a table, how to travel insurance, all those real life topics. To make them more feel comfortable with you. Did that answer your question? Social activity topics, exactly, like Rita said, exactly. Social activity topics like NGO, activities that are sociable, coming as well. Teaching different skills online. Okay. Let's go with Sarah. Sarah, how do you teach speaking? Give me one example of how you teach speaking. Who wants to answer? Okay.
By speaking directly with the student during the lesson, the online lesson.
Yes. What activities do you think can you think of to encourage them to speak?
Yeah, maybe ask questions and ask the students to answer, to participate, to discuss with each other or with the teacher, maybe.
Exactly. Do you teach them activities like, for example, fun activities?
Yes, of course.
Okay, now we're going to dive into them. Speaking activity, puppet show. This is a very famous activity that everyone nowadays play online. This is just a fun way of getting students talking, especially for those that are often too shy to speak normally. So, example, the people who don't have the vocabulary, why are they shy? Because they don't have vocabulary knowledge, vocabulary range of different words to use. That's why they cannot elaborate effectively. So you give them a puppet and they can play with it. They can show you, oh, my puppet speaks. I can talk because my puppet also speaks. There is something about putting a hand puppet. The puppet, for example, if you do like a play, you can do Red Riding Hood, the puppet Red Riding Hood with the students. This is a good example. You will be the wolf and they will be the Red Riding Hood and someone will be the grandma. So this is also a very creative way of getting students to talk. This one also can be played online. How to play this game? You can give students a situation and then ask them to create a dialogue between their two hand puppets or with their partner across Zoom breakout rooms. That's like we have discussed, we have Zoom breakout rooms that they can. What can they do? They can go to the Zoom breakout rooms, talk together, to have a conversation together, okay, for 5 minutes. You give them a limit time of 5 minutes. They go back to the main room and they can share what they have talked about. Does someone use Puppet in their classroom? Role playing is a very good example, like Salima said. Who uses Puppet in their classroom? Okay, now it's time to use the Puppet. You can get them any puppet they want, but just make a scenario where they can follow. Support. Get students to arrange a dialogue first, either a group or individually. You can give them, like for example, sentences. They can put them in order. Then have students read them out loud, okay, between their own hand puppets. And for example, you give them sentences, they put them in order. This is more advanced students. They take the puppet and they role play the scenario. Then set a situation that is similar to the first one, so they can use the first dialogue as a model for text, and then they can read the dialogue. This is for the more advanced students, as I have mentioned. What happens next? Select some interesting pictures displaying odd or strange situations, good or bad. Screen share them with students, give them time to figure out what they think has happened just before the picture and what will happen subsequently. For example, you can give them pictures, opposite pictures, good and bad. For example, thief, a good person. Or can you give me any other suggestions?
I do.
Ideas? Yes.
For example, we can bring two photos with mistakes, and they have to notify or to mention what other mistakes are. For example, like the children we do, what are you seeing? What are the children are doing? For example, a photo, and they will explain the activities the children are doing or the adults are speaking. Like you mentioned previously, what are you seeing in the picture? So this is make a little bit of activation.
Exactly. You can have them students discuss either in pairs or a whole group. what they think happened, and you can reward points for the most realistic, creative, or funny scenarios.
Yes.
Points where we can put the points, for example, on the wall. يعني in the Zoom, you cannot put it on the wall, but you can give them, you can send them, you have got 5 points, you have got 3 points. By the end of the course, you can see who got the highest point of being creative, funny, realistic, and give them an award. Why did I choose Canvas? I chose Canvas, sorry, because this you can make awards with them, with this application. You can give them an award later on using Canva. This can act as a free talking fluency practice exercise, or you can drill down on some grammar or grammatical forms. Explain the diagram. This one, it's for high-level students. What do I mean by high-level students? I mean those who are taking the IELTS exam. This is good for practicing the passive voice and technical vocabulary. Example, breaking down how you would explain each phase of a process, get students fitted all together is a great way of getting students engaged when diagram is linked to something they have a real interest in. You can give them the process. You can break up the process, and they can assemble it for you and write it or speak about it. This will enhance their vocabulary and grammar as well. ESL-AB gaffel. This is the most favorite that I like. Take 2 copies of an article that interests your students and remove keywords. What is the purpose of removing keywords from the article, Suhar? It means when you take the words out of the article, the students, they put the words back in the article, like places, names, dates, people's names, and other such details. They can make their own story. Remove these words from even number paragraphs from one copy, and remove from odd paragraphs in the other copy. So you can give them, for example, 2 groups. One who removed you make a blank. You put a blank. So one who can give their own ideas, talk in a group and give out their own ideas, and the other one gives their own ideas, and then they can come back to one group and discuss what they have written or thought about. Hand out the articles to partners. You can do this via Google Docs and Google Classroom, Word, or however it is easiest for you. Writing part activities. Writing part activities. Why is writing important? Before we start, why is writing important? Abir. Or whoever wants to participate can participate. Maya, Hanyan. To know his level, exactly. To know his level, right? Yes.
By writing, they express easiest for them. They will have a lot of free spaces for them to write. When they are writing,
exactly.
when they are writing, they feel not pressure. They explain more. they discuss, they express more than about themselves.
Yes, they can express themselves better.
Yes.
As an interview that can be completed via email or in person. For example, you have two persons who can discuss an email or an interview. For example, I will be the interviewer and you will be the interviewee, and then you can give me questions, and then I can write about the questions. Remember that some students might not have someone at home or to interview. Sometimes I work with my students. I am being the one who is interviewed, and the student is the one who interviews me. But often students interview each other. This is a very good idea too, for the students to interview each other. Why? Because it's a way of them bonding, to have a bond together. One important piece for conducting interviews is having strong questions. Work with students to create open-ended questions instead of questions that require one simple answer. You give them open-ended. You don't give them short, multiple-choice questions. No, open-ended questions. The composition and thought process of creating questions is the writing assignment itself, because this way will encourage them to even write better. Yes, you can ask them to prepare it before, exactly. Like Rita has mentioned in the chat box, if they are beginner or pre-intermediate students. If they are intermediate or advanced students, no need to do it because they already have good vocabulary structure. One important piece for conducting an interview is having strong questions. Work with the student to create open, like we said, open-ended questions instead of questions that require one simple answer. Why? Because it's a way of transmitting it shows them the way of transmitting the message. Movie review. Who can guess what is a movie review before we read it? Tara. Abir, can someone tell me what does it mean, or movie review? Okay, I'll tell you. Yes. Yes, Salima. Exactly. You ask them to see a movie, then discuss it. Exactly. It's one activity where you can do a movie review. Another activity is that teach students to create their own headings. Exactly, Sarah. To create headings and subheadings in their documents. Give students a chance to create a blog post. For example, they can watch a movie, as Salima said, and then they can write their own headings and subheadings, or they can even change the movie. For example, Red Riding Hood, or for example, another movie that is suspense, they can change it and make it to a love story, for example. You can give them many creative activities based on the writing part. Change the ending maybe, exactly, or change the beginning exactly as well. Characterization. One activity is to write. One activity is to write a police report, text, email, or journal entry as a character that I'm creating. For example, if I'm creating a policeman, I write him his character. I add pictures to start my inspiration, and then I write about my character's feelings and ideas in the chosen format. For example, if I write about a police officer, I write feelings, I write his ideas, I write his police report, I write his text, I write what can he do if he caught if someone who is a thief, or what can they do if they caught, for example, someone who is stealing, a thief, or for example, a doctor report. I can give the students a doctor report and they can analyze it. This one is only for advanced students. Yes, as Sarah said, his clothes, by example, to let students know the character. I can give them, but this is for beginner level. I can give them more his clothes, his attire, and they can tell me who is this person, or what. For example, if I give them a policeman, what does this policeman wear, and vice versa. If I give them their clothes, who is this clothes for? In response to information in text, choose a timely article and have students write a response. Using an information in text can help you meet multiple standards. You can give them a text and they can write their own response to it. You can provide news, sports, nature, and fashion sites and allow students to choose an article. Once they choose the article, they can then write a review about it. Okay, depending on your students' needs and age. So we have different activities that depend on the students' needs or ages. You can find articles about the same topic, but you can make them, you can modify the article. Ask students to evaluate the author's tone and message in each article. You can give them many articles and they can give you, they can summarize it for you, or they can briefly brief it out for you. What is the setting? Where's the setting? What is the characters? What are they doing? So you can give them many different activities using just one article. The tone, the message in each article. The message in each article is very important because they can think about why the author wrote this article. What message does he give? What does he want to give me? What is the moral of the article? This is very important. Listening online activities. Jigsaw listening. For homework, half the class watch one talk and the other half watch the other talk. In the next lesson, learners work in pairs in breakout rooms and compare the speaker's view and justifications. You can give them, for example, a listening exercise, and they can do it as a homework, and then they come back to class and they can share their own thoughts, like a flip classroom, where you can give them, also you can give them a video or a listen or a mute or a song which they can hear. TikTok class activity. The teacher reads a short factual text out loud, listening and note-taking. Learners listen and take note on what they hear. This is important. Or they can change the words. Repetition, the reading and note-taking are repeated for clarity. And then they can go up to the stage and they can sing the song. Text reconstruction. Learners use their notes to reconstruct the text and type it onto the whiteboard. You give them a text, as I have previously mentioned, and they can formulate it for you. They can give you different ideas. Feedback. This one, the teacher provides feedback and support to improve accuracy. Comparison. Learners compare their reconstructed text with the original. So all the time have the original and have the reconstructed text for them to compare it. And tell you which is nicer or which they love more or which they prefer and why. All the time you have to ask them, why do you prefer this and not that? Which photo? In class, the teacher displays 6 photos using the share screen option. The teacher then reads out a sentence to describe one of the photos, and then the students have to think of which photo is the teacher talking about. They can point to it. Missing object. This game, which is great for teaching new vocabulary or reviewing words from a previous lesson, requires students to memorize a set of objects that are shown to them. They can memorize it. And the teacher, what does she do here? She can tell them, she can flip for example, if you have, for example, cat and dog. This is for young learners. Cat and dog. Okay, they memorize cat, dog, cat, dog. The teacher flips the pictures and the student takes one and says, cat, this is dog. Afterward, one object is removed and students must guess which one was taken. Or they can guess which one was taken out. Is it the cat or is it the dog? And they can describe it for you. Students will have to listen carefully to you to describe objects, but they also have the visual aspect to help them better remember vocabulary. This way they can remember the vocabulary. Yes, those activities also increase their vocabulary. Yes, Rita. Lastly, if you get stuck and need hint, they need to listen carefully to the clues you provide to be able to figure out the answer. Scene work in ESL classrooms. Engaging listening practice. Use TV shows and movies to enhance listening. For example, you can give them a movie to watch at home. They can come back to the classroom and discuss it with the peers or even with the teacher. شو حلو على هيدا scene work in ESL classroom is that you can give them a movie at home. They can discuss it with their peers or their friends. And they can, for example, they can be their own teacher. Yani, for example, the teacher is there, but they can be their own teacher as a role model, take the place of a teacher, and tell the other people and the students and the teacher what they liked about the movie, and give them. Yani, it's very important to give them, for example, time for them to think. For example, if you give them a questionnaire, they can do the questionnaire. They can distribute it even to the teacher. The teacher can be one of them. Don't have to be the teacher who has to be dominant over the students. No, we're here to all learn. So the students can also, the teacher can also learn as well. You know, and with my students, for example, I give them, for example, time. I give them patience. I give them time. If they want to create something and they want to explain it to me, I let them do so. Because this is a way of being creative. Or let them do a test. It's okay. After listening to the movie, of course, after listening to the movie, they can do a test and they can spread the test through all the classroom. So they can see if they can correct it even. They can see which one is the best answer. Be creative. Caption videos. Ensure videos are captioned to aid listening skills for ELL students. Watch multiple times. Have students who view the clip several times. It's okay, not only one time, because one time is for intermediate or upper intermediate students. Many times it's for beginner or for the elementary section. Partners sharing. Students discuss what they remember with their partner. Class discussion. Conclude with the whole class sharing session. A whole class should be involved in the collaboration. Script reading activity. Distribute scripts. Okay. This one is scripts like a PDF version. Role assignment. Then let them take a role. But not only let them take a role where you have written written script for them. No, you tell them, I will be the doctor and you will be the patient. Let's take a role. They decide, they think for themselves, and then they can give you the script. But don't let them memorize it. And let them be able to think by themselves. Multiple rounds, repeat the activity until all students have a chance to participate. Listening focus helps students pay attention to annotation and pronunciation. This will give them practice their pronunciation, speech replication. Students practice replicating the actor's speech patterns. Also, this one is for the script that they can visually see. This helps pronunciation, annotation, articulation, and knowing how to use different vocabulary words. Fill in the blanks or song lyrics activity. Incorporate pop culture. Use popular songs like radio songs to engage students. Distribute lyrics. Provide each student or pair with song lyrics that have missing words, and the students can then fill them out. Virtual vacation. Have students pick a place they would like to visit. For example, India is a good place to visit. Explain why they want to go to India, what can they do there, who can they see, or explain that they will be all learning about this place and they will make a travel brochure. They can make a travel brochure, or they can do poster for the India, or they can do travel brochures at the end, or also they can be a travel agent. Yes, and they can encourage people to go to India. Let them encourage, let them be the one who encourages people, and this will build their vocabulary and their grammar skills as well. Encourage them to watch the YouTube videos, listen to podcasts, and look for online travel brochures to help them. For example, one topic can be food, and you could give the student a link to a page with the nations, culinary specials, and pictures of these foods. And then the student can, for example, this can be a fun way to learn about other places, practice research skills, and get plenty of listening practice through hearing videos and audio about the destinations, and then listening to classmates' final presentations. Or, and I like this way, you can give them, for example, Japanese food, Chinese food, Indian food, and Lebanese food. And then they tell you what is this for, which country is this for, and which they like better. If I like, for example, Lebanese food, someone else likes Japanese food. Why is Lebanese food healthier than, for example, Japanese food? They list them down. Grade level all ages description. Hide objects or toys around the house with written clues. Children read the clues around to find hidden treasures, making reading integral to solving riddles. You can give them, yes, like Sanima said, we can ask them about the ingredients too, and they tell you what is the food. Exactly, Sanima, good. This one. Can give them the ingredients. For example, crepe, how you do crepe. They can give you the recipe. Or you can give them a recipe and they can then tell you what food it is. Exactly. Description: hide objects or toys around the house with written clues. يعني you give them clues, okay, and you can hide them around the house or around the. If you're teaching on Zoom, you can hide them around the house and just let them figure out which object is where the objects are hidden. Hopscotch spelling bee. Description: create hopscotch maps with letters. Children hop to spell out words in a sequence, combining physical activity with spelling practice. Of course, we have online hopscotch games as well. You can play with the students. Creative storytelling activities. Write different story starters on slips of paper and place them in a hat. The student, what can they do? They can take out a paper and then say out the story, or they can take a paper, for example, give them a title. Not the paper, not the story. You can give them the title and they can take out a title and just make a story out of the title. Book title Mad Libs, grade level, O level. Description: children fill in the blanks with nouns, verbs, adjectives to create funny book titles based on prompts, fostering creativity and understanding parts of speech. And you can give them, for example, a paragraph where you can take out the noun, take out the verb, and take out the adjective. The student, what do they do? But this is for advanced students. They can tell you this is a noun, this is an adverb, or this is an adjective. Word treasure hunt, grade O level. Description: hide word cards around this designated area. Students work in teams to find out and read the words aloud, prompting teamwork and vocabulary development. All those are based online as well. Exactly, to help them retain their vocabulary knowledge. So you can use them teaching grammar, or you can use them teaching vocabulary. Don't teach them the vocabulary as it is. You make them activities which they can enjoy and they can learn at the same time. I hope you liked the session. Do you have any questions? I'm waiting for your questions.
Yes, I have.
Yes, ask me.
My name is Rita. I will ask you, what are the exercises to increase their grammar knowledge? What are the exercises? Those exercises are like activities for vocabulary, for conversation. But to know the tenses of the verbs, and when we put the past for the advanced courses, they have a lot of problem using tenses while they are writing or reading. So how can we help them online?
Very good question. How can you help them online? You can give them first of all, you teach them the grammar rule. Okay, for example, I'm giving an example: present simple and present continuous. You can give them a game which, for example, match present simple to present continuous. Match the sentences. Present simple. What sentence goes to the present simple tense? You ask them, why did you choose this sentence for the present simple tense? Why did you choose this sentence for present progressive tense? This way they can challenge their mind. Another game is to play. You can, for example, remove. If for example we're talking about a summary, the present simple tense, you put them the verbs. You put them on in the instructions, below the instructions. You put the verbs, and then they can fill out the paragraph with the correct form of the verb. This is also a game. Another game is to for example, give them, for example, something that they can touch. For example, what am I doing? I am teaching you. So give them real life examples. Another one. What are you going to do today? I am going to go to the supermarket. And real life questions. Open-ended questions كتير مهمين ده نسألهم. We can also give them for example, present simple tense or present progressive tense. What can you do with those sentences? What sentence can you say? I can say present simple tense. They can tell you the sentence, the present simple tense sentence.
Okay.
في
And
كتير قصص.
yeah, I know, but you know, sometimes there is problems with using present and past, مثلا past perfect or simple past or past perfect continuous. Sometimes they are confused. Some of people they are by hints, يعني logically they make sentences without no difficulty, but others no. Others they want to know why I should be putting here past perfect and not past perfect continuous. Why I have to mention the story that she is in the past like I'm talking in the present. This similarities of sentences in one paragraph or in one story, it makes some confusing for some people.
This is confusing, I know, but you can find tricks. There are many tricks that you can find, which help students know the difference. A trick that you can find, for example, بالpast simple. I did an accident. خلاص, I did an accident. It's finished. It's not like a long action. It's a very short action. I did an accident. فاكرة هي. And I did an accident. خلاص, I did an accident. It's not long. So this is a good a way to teach the past simple.
Yeah.
يعني كل شيء quick actions خلاص on the spot. Okay, Tara, and did I answer your question?
Yes.
You have it's a whole course that I can teach you about.
And what about sites we can use for online system beside Canvas? Do you have some idea?
Yes, of course. You have word wall. What do you mean?
I want something not to be payable. For example, Canvas it takes some amount in order to use it, but there is free web sites. We can use them for free. Do you have
Yes,
any
you can,
idea?
for example, whiteboard, or you can say, for example, PowerPoint, or you can say Word Express, or you could say use Microsoft Word. All of those are for free.
Okay, and are they easiest to be used?
Yes, they're very easy to use. Yes, they are.
Okay, thank you.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
very much.
You're welcome. Khaled, do you have any question? If anyone has any question? Thank you, Sarah. Okay, I think
Thank you very much.
thank you so much. Okay, Malak, can you take my lead, please?
Are we going to have the PDF of what you write, screenshot?
Of what I have written? Yes,
Yes.
but the PDF comes with the certificate. I don't know where's Malak. Malak needs to talk and take my lead and explain the process. The certificate is very important because you can put it on your CV, or you can show it as well. Okay. If you don't have any questions, then thank you very much, and I hope you benefited from the session, and see you soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, teacher. But I'm just asking, we should wait for Malak or no need?
Yes. No, no need.
No need to wait for her. Okay.
No
Thank
need to
you a
wait.
lot.
Thank you so much.
It was a great session. Thank you.
Thank you. Much appreciated. Goodbye.